Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're going to be answering the question, who is Frenkie de Jong? Of course, make sure to like that goddamn video and subscribe if you are new. Frenkie de Jong was born in Arkel in 1997. He's a Dutch footballer that plays for Ajax Amsterdam over in Holland. Frenkie de Jong started his playing days off at Willems II, but was signed by Ajax in August 2015. He was then loaned back to Willems II till halfway through the season in January. The first season and a half of Frenkie de Jong's tenure at Ajax was spent with the under-21 side, Young Ajax, where Frenkie de Jong scored 8 goals and registered 11 assists in just 46 games. His breakout season with Ajax came last year, where he racked up 22 appearances out of a possible 25, registering 8 assists, before the season was cut short through injury. But where does Frenkie de Jong play? He has played so far in his career at centre-back, defensive midfield and in central midfield. But quite frankly, he could play anywhere. He's not a classic player that's exceptionally quick or exceptionally strong or has a fantastic engine. He is Frenkie de Jong, a generational talent that has the ability on the ball to play all over the park. Since Erik ten Hag's appointment as Ajax manager, they've tended to play a 4-2-3-1 with Frenkie de Jong in central midfield, but he's also been used at centre-half when covering from injuries. When Frankie's speaking about himself as a footballer in terms of where he sees himself being played, here are his quotes. "I see this as a short-term experiment. I don't want to remain in central defence. Throughout my career, I've always been a midfielder, and I will remain a midfielder." Ten Hag employs a Cruyffian style at Ajax, looking to get on the ball as much as possible, dominating possession, then using the ball to move their opponents around. The team almost moves from a 4-2-3-1 to basically 3 diamonds, with, of course, Frenkie de Jong playing at the bottom diamond, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the main centre-half, or in that defensive midfield area. But there's a lot of interchange with Ajax when they've got the ball, and arguably, in possession, one of the best set-up teams in Europe right now. This is perfect for Frenkie, who excels at dictating the play. There's something really old school about Frenkie de Jong. He arguably fits in a different generation. You think in the 1970s with a great Dutch team that played total football, or the Ajax team that dominated the European scene. You can imagine Frenkie on a black and white TV. He isn't a classic central midfielder in the modern day. He isn't tall or powerful, but he makes up for that with the manipulation of the ball and space, but also his great body balance. Frenkie de Jong is a modern-day sweeper who looks to drop into the back line before receiving the ball and either carrying it out of defence or passing out into midfield. De Jong is a better version of Franz Beckenbauer because he has speed and passes the ball easily. If you want to see a video on Beckenbauer and the role of the sweeper, make sure, of course, to smash that like button. If we get to 1,000, we'll do a video dictating the whole role over its time in the world of football. Although Barcelona legend Xavi has likened him to another modern-day great. He looks like Sergio Busquets in terms of playing style. He's young, but I think he can make a huge contribution to Barcelona now. He's seen as a beastly talent. He's really a player to keep an eye on. De Jong's profile is exactly what Barcelona need. A player who is technically very strong, wants to work for the team, but above all has a lot of talent. And Xavi is right. Frenkie de Jong would be a great partner for Arthur in central midfield. But going back to de Jong, he's more of a director, pointing and directing his teammates to get into space to become passing options, a modern-day central midfielder. Frenkie de Jong has completed more short passes than any other player in the Eredivisie this season. He simply gets it, takes a few short touches and then plays it. After playing with Frenkie for the Netherlands, Wijnaldum spoke about his positional awareness. He's always able to create space because A, he's always available, or B, he forces the opponents to choose. Do they come out of position, losing their marker, which creates space, or gives us a free man? Frenkie is the ultimate free man, using his movement to get into space. For example, against current world champions France, de Jong had more touches on the ball than any other player on the pitch, constantly moving and getting into space to receive the ball before playing it to another man in space as well. He's able to do this because of his first touch, his technique in passing, his body balance, the step overs, the fakes, the rolls that he regularly pulls off. Frenkie de Jong arguably is press resistant. If pressure ever comes in from any angle, either he'll move the ball by passing it to the left or right, or alternatively, if there's space that he can attack and move into, Frenkie de Jong's a player that will drive through with the ball. Since the start of last season, Frenkie de Jong in the Eredivisie has attempted 70 dribbles. He's completed 64 of them. That is because he has ultimate ability on the ball, manipulating it and their opponent. It was rumoured in the summer that Barcelona had bid twice for Frenkie de Jong, with the final offer being around €30 million. Marc Overmars recently confirmed that Frenkie de Jong won't be available in January, but for the right price in the summer could see one of the best young talents in world football moving clubs. Of course, there could be a crazy fee involved. Frenkie de Jong is easily worth €100 million. Get into the comments below, how much is he worth right now from what you guys have seen from the young Dutch superstar? I'm of course Statman Dave. Make sure to subscribe if you are new and like that goddamn video. See you guys later. If you've enjoyed this content, why not check out my playlist of predictions? We're talking Champions League and Premier League, or alternatively, if you like your tactics, what is a great playlist about all types of tactical roles around the world of football.